Hello, and welcome to Every Day is Funny, the meditative morning show about newspaper comics. And today's Sunday. Sundays typically we just get straight to the comics because they're longer on Sundays. But I did want to do a few housekeeping things. First off, we have 2 late submissions to the caption contest that we discussed yesterday. And one, something happened, and this person delivered their caption on time, and something with the internet, that pesky World Wide Web, screwed it up, and his caption did not get delivered. And this is Pete. Now, I don't think he remembers to a T what his caption was, but he sent me another one that he was thinking about at least. And that was, reminder, this is about a cowboy in an above ground pool. Pete submitted the caption, "Honey, look, a pool." So that's great. I'm incensed that didn't make it on time, and I wouldn't rest until we properly gave Pete his flowers. So that one was for you, Pete. Then we just had a late submission via email. Late submissions, I'm like that strict teacher in school you hate. The most you're getting for a late submission is partial credit. So I don't enter this into the fake contest because it was submitted too late, but I will do the honor of at least reading it on the show. Mainly because I need the content. So this is sent in by the fake Rex Morgan MD, maybe Mex Rorgan. And they say, "I reckon you should know that we pee blue round these parts." I didn't read that ahead of time, that was good. Which was kind of addressed with Jerry's comment yesterday. Me questioning whether the Cowboys' piss was blue. And Mex Rorgan can seem to confirm we do piss blue around these parts. So I wanted to make sure we got to that. Also, I was earlier in the week sent 2 comic submissions. I didn't check with this person if they want to remain anonymous, so I won't say their name as to dox them as a listener of this show, because I feel like most listeners might be ashamed. But I will relay the comics. They are on everydayisfunny.com. And he, or she, but it's he, sent in 2 strips. Let's check them out. Okay, the first. A man desperate for water is crawling through the desert, and he finally sees a pool of water that he's gonna go drink from. But above him, 2 vultures circle overhead, one carrying a massive piano. The first vulture says, "Dang, I think he's going to reach the water." The second says, "Oh no, he's not." I love that, man. I love it mainly just like the cartoon image of a vulture handling an entire piano is just so great. Like, the joke wouldn't have to be good. You could just draw me a picture of a vulture holding a piano and no caption, no dialogue, and I would still think it's A+ material. And he also sent in one other comic submission, a far more crudely drawn submission, with a group of people all holding massive blenders, staring at a newbie to their group holding a much smaller blender. And one of the cool guys in the group says, "This fella here thinks he can juice with the big dogs." Man, what a disturbingly drawn image. I wonder why someone chooses to draw like that. It's kind of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas doodle mixed with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which are 2 horrifying source material references. So it's interesting that the author chose it for their comedy strip. Maybe a little like Beavis and Butthead thrown in there too. I wonder what year this was. but great bit. I love just like the weird mishmash of colors in the blender. Like nothing is really discernible. I like that. I wonder what the event is. Why this guy's trying to get in with these people. They're all very, very frightening. All right, let's get to it. Sunday funnies, the big dogs. Let's start rolling through them. All right, Hager the Horrible. Hager's wife says, I haven't been paying enough attention to Hager recently. He must be feeling neglected. She says, hello, husband. What's up? Knock off any good castles lately? He thinks, oh no, what have I done now? Then, in a new situation, she says, mind if I join you? He's whittling a duck out of wood or something. He says, please do. They sit in silence for a little. She yawns. He says, you should read something that has excitement, adventure, and romance. She says, you're right. I shouldn't be reading my diary. Huh. Little knock at the marriage. Why is she reading her diary? That's a peculiar thing to begin with. He's whittling a duck out of wood. She's reading her own diary. Yeah, I think this marriage is in jeopardy. Also, isn't it odd that it starts kind of separate? Like, it would make sense if it was just the bottom panels where she sits down next to him. The beginning where she says he's feeling neglected, and then he says, oh no, what have I done now? That feels like a whole separate strip that was just tacked on to add length to the Sunday version. But yeah, why is she yawning and reading her diary next to her husband? That doesn't feel like something she was gonna do out of her own accord. That feels like a cry for help or a cry for attention. She's like, please ask me what I'm reading so I can say it's my diary and make this comment about how our marriage is failing. That's what it feels like. I mean, he is Hager the Horrible. I assume the horrible means, sure, he's a Viking, but I assume it also means he's a failure when it comes to being a husband. I don't know. Let's move on. Family circus. We see Jeffy running home after a baseball game. He says, Mommy, I got a hit. She says, wonderful. Who won the game? He says, it isn't over yet. And then he runs back out. Oh, he just came for food. Okay. Why is she not at the game? Not that every parent has to be at every game. Maybe the dad's there. But it doesn't seem like she had a lot going on at the moment. Maybe go support your son. I'm not here to criticize. But maybe Andy, the YouTube commenter, was right from the other day, who says the family circus is filth. Andy, I'm starting to see where you're coming from. How far away was the game that he had to run all the way home just to eat some snack? Actually, we don't even see him eating. I think he did just come home to say he got a hit. What if he, got a hit, ran to first, and then just kept running? So they're not even going to count the hit because he's gone too long. That'd be a sad ending, huh? A disqualification. Gets tossed out of the game. A sad end for Jeffy's baseball career. All right, Broomhilda. Broomhilda is talking to this bird friend she has. She says, I guess you win. He says, eh? I give up, Gaylord, you're right. About what? You're always telling me what a loser I am. How my temper is deplorable and my disposition is shameful. Maybe I did a little bit. How my nose is big and my caboose is bigger. And then she starts weeping. He says, no, I don't really think that. You're a spectacular human, a queen amongst women. She says, gee, really? He says, absolutely. She says, and that, folks, is how a few well-timed tears can turn lemons into lemonade. She was tricking him just to get some compliments? Wait, but that means the rest of it was still true. He did come out and say all of those things. He talked about her caboose being huge to her? This bird with glasses said that? That's odd, right? That, I mean, I get what she's going for. She needs a compliment, and she's willing to fake tears and put on an insane show just to have the bird say she's cool, which, Brumhilda's mental health seems to be verging on sociopath for that one. But that is true then, that the bird said all those things, which is very deplorable. Who is this bird with shoes? I mean, he's no looker. He's a bird wearing shoes. He has no right to say these things about Brumhilda, who's at least a real human being, so she has that going for her as a basis. And his name's Gaylord. Not to... Listen, that's not important. There's nothing to make fun of there. But, just like the overall image of this bird, I'm surprised he's saying anything negative about Brumhilda. Unless this bird's getting tail in this world. Then more power to Gaylord. Alright. Rex Morgan. Come on, bully. Wow. Oh, okay, it's a mix. I was gonna say that my guess yesterday that this bully confrontation would be going on until Tuesday was wrong because we see Corey in class now. But later on in the comic, we are gonna get back to the same confrontation. So, first off, we do have Corey in class, which I didn't expect. He says to another student, "Where's Parker? Class is about to start. They're never late." His classmate says, "Haven't seen them since they left the lunch table." Corey says, "I hope that bully didn't catch them in the hallway." Then we cut back to the bully conversation. Parker can't get past the bully. Parker says, "I'm going to be late for class, and so are you. Will you just let me get by?" The bully says, "Nah, don't think so." Headline, "Other kids have gathered around." We see a lot of kids now joining in on the confrontation. They're saying, "We're going to be late too, we should go." Another says, "Oh no, I want to see what happens." Parker says, "I'm not a threat to you. Why are you doing this?" The bully says, "'Cause I don't like your fat, freckled, four-eyed face or anything else about you." Parker says, "Honestly, I'm not all that fond of you either, but that doesn't mean we have to do this." The bully says, "You want to mouth off to me, but you're too chicken to fight me?" Parker said, "Who said anything about fighting? I'm half your size. I don't want to fight anybody." The bully says, "You want to get to your locker? You're gonna have to fight me." Wow, a big cliffhanger to end on. I mean, okay, I cannot believe this is still happening. Because, like, they were in the middle of lunch. They've probably been in this hallway now, saying the same things. Him calling Parker a fat, freckled, four-eyed face, like, that same insult. It's gotta be for like 10 minutes, right? Maybe 5. Unbelievable. Like, I cannot fathom this. You know what I think is gonna happen though? Corey is gonna leave class to go search for him and stop this before it escalates to insane violence. I think these other kids should maybe step in and say something to the new kid. This guy has no power. There's a group of students in the hallway who could just say, like, who even are you? Like, why are you attempting this? And silence is complicitness. So, this is on those kids too. I know they're children, but they're screwing up. Man, I just like... this bully must have come from a school of insane violence where that asserted dominance and created a hierarchy of success. But I don't think that's gonna fly in this school. And where are the hall monitors? Can we get a hall monitor or two to break up this violence? This is all just a shame on everybody's part. Let's see what the comments are. William Thompson, we haven't heard from him in a while, says, "I am awestruck, nay positively gobsmacked, by Beatty's ability to make bullying dull and boring." That's true. Like, this should be exciting, right? Like, this new bully in school, he doesn't have to be saying the same things. Like, there's a way to write this that is very interesting and, like, heart-pounding, and it's just not happening. Maybe because he's relying on this confrontation for too long, or it was just never exciting to begin with. But there's so much potential here. And it's just not happening. It's a real shame. Like, I feel like Parker should be acknowledging the new kid aspect. Like, why are you a new kid coming into the school thinking you can just be a bully right off the bat? And Parker is just taking these hits and just saying, like, please, please. It's just infuriating. Let me think of what to comment. All right, I'm going to say a simple comment to the point, from the point of view of Corey in the beginning of the strip. Corey says, I hope that bully didn't get them, but will I go and check? No. Send. Oh, all right. Go enjoy your Sunday. Sunday fun day. Don't get the scaries. Please share, like the show, and remember, every day is funny.